Not bad for a rookie. Not even using a real potter's wheel. Welcome to my backyard clay special, presented to you by Smokey and Spike Productions. This black seam here, some really rich clay that I've tried some pottery with. I've done 2 previous short videos, one displaying a piece in the kiln and one displaying a completed fired piece of pottery. As you see, I've been very busy attempting to complete my greenhouse. I've moved it out of the way so I can complete the base to make this clay into actually something workable to use for pottery. Got a little bit to work with, gonna saturate it, break out all the gravel, classify it, and let the clay settle out. Going to let that soak for a few hours, then come out here with a drill and a paint stirrer, mix it up, pour it into a separate bucket with a classifier on top. The clay has been sitting out in the bucket, soaking in the water long enough that the chunks have likely broken up. Let's give it a good stir. Now to proceed slowly with caution and not to make an entire mess. Real slow. Real slow. There we go. Just get stirred up real good, break up any extra chunks, and then I'll filter it and get all the larger particulates out in the gravel. The sediment in the water is what I really want. Now I gotta classify it just as if I were classifying crushed ore or alluvial gravels or anything like that. All I want is the water. All that's left at the bottom of the bucket, just gravel. What I really want is slowly filtering through the classifiers. The good stuff. Gonna give it one more good stir, then pour it in a large clear jar and watch it settle out. Then I'll show you the next processes from there. For the crucial part, getting as little sediment in the jar as possible. You only want the sediment trapped in solution for your clay. That should be good. To let that settle out for 24 hours and take out the clear water. As it slowly reduces down, the material becomes thicker, then you evaporate off the extra water and ball it up and wedge it, and it should be ready for the pottery wheel. Here's a look at all the sand I removed. You don't want that in the clay. You want it as fine as possible. A waiting game now. Put this lid on there so the bugs don't get up in there. It's already starting to work. I'm gonna try a little experiment on this one. A little siphon action. I think it's good to go. Get that suction going through there. Get out that water. That actually worked. I didn't need to suck on it and risk bringing in that nasty water in my mouth. Worked surprisingly well. All that clear water is out of there. What you think? My custom filter for the next step. Now to agitate it real good. The following morning, and the clay still has too much water in it. This one's gonna take a while. It has been just over 48 hours, and the clay is just a little bit soupy still, almost completely to the point where it is usable. Has a really nice, smooth texture to it. It's gonna make some really good clay. Sweet. The clay is looking real good now. Possibly a couple more hours before I can make something with it. It only makes sense to call this stuff Utah's native backyard brown low fire clay. Same clay, after it has been fired, it still retains that same brown pigment. All the water that dripped out during the last 48 hours, that is a lot heavier than it looks. Quite a bit of clay there. Let that hang there for another 24 hours while any residual water slowly drips out. Once that's complete, it should be ready to wedge and attempt to make a small piece of pottery. Almost ready. When you could touch the bottom and don't get any residual moisture on your fingers, it's good to go. Let's see how it looks. The clay is pretty much ready for the potter's wheel. Leave a comment if you'd like to see a sequel to this video while I am attempting to throw a pot on the wheel, or leave a comment if you'd like to see the professional potter that I've made this clay for make a pot on the potter's wheel. Thank you for watching Smokey and Spike Productions. Have an awesome day.